When I first joined 2164, I was, I think, the only person of color on the team and also the youngest person on the team. And as part of my training at 2164, I took our courses that we teach around teaching philanthropic advisors on our multi-generational approach. I realized that there weren't a lot of people of color taking our training. So I asked our team why. And the reason was, well, not a lot of people of color come to us because we're word of mouth, and philanthropy is largely a white-led sector. And so it's hard for us to find people of color. That really ignited my passion of helping to diversify the philanthropic advisory sector through this 2164 Certified Advisors of Color program. I'm trying to provide advisors of color with the community, learning environment, and the curriculum that they may need in order to work directly with these donors. And what I'm hoping is, as people discover their own vision, they'll feel very empowered to work with donors around their visions. Just imagine if those visions align and the money flow through in ways that is rooted in love and hope. It's going to be revolutionary.
Being a philanthropic advisor is hard. It can be difficult work in and of itself, but when you add the layer of being a person of color to that, there's really a lot that can go into it.
You initially go into it with this desire to create change, to make an impact, to deploy resources to the communities you think need them the most. And that may not completely align with the values or the interests of the family you're hoping to support.
Because of how wealth has worked in this country, it often means that we are working with individuals who may not be persons of color and may not understand perhaps some of the life experiences we've had. And sometimes because of that lack of experience, the way that individuals approach those discussions can be problematic, it can be frustrating, it can be challenging, and yet because of the power dynamic, we are responsible for working with that individual to help bring resources to our communities. And that tension can be very, very difficult.
There's urgency, right? We gotta do things now, we gotta respond quickly. There's anger, there's grief, there's sadness. And the risk is if we don't pay attention to hope and love and care for ourselves, then we'll literally burn out.
Hi, Sean. How are you? It's nice to see you in person.
You too.
Finally?
Wow, good to see you.
Oh my gosh, in person.
A lot of what 2164 does is we train philanthropic advisors on the 2164 approach to working with multi-generations. And Ondine had this very lovely idea of coming up with this program for advisors of color.
He was the original.
Yeah.
Sean
That's
was
right.
One of our first.
I love that.
Fast forward 3 years later, Fetzer reached out to us and said, if you're already working on a program that focuses on racial identity, what would it look like to add a spiritual component?
I was really encouraged when we met with Ondine and Diane, and they highlighted self, role, and spirit as the 3 main areas they want participants to think about and embark on this dream space from to create something that can transform philanthropy.
I was scared because it's such a polarizing topic, but we all do philanthropy because we believe in generosity. There's something within us that wants to do good, and yet we don't talk about it.
A lot of times in our experience when we bring forth faith and spirit into the conversation, we find that people are extremely open to the idea. It's almost like we're giving them permission, but it's already there. We're just not used to talking about that.
Engaging with spirit, faith, love, allowing ourselves to dream, which is a spiritual practice, actually has the power to make a change in the world around us and the lives of others day to day.
That's my dream for this program, for this work, is for people to just slow down for a second and say, let's dream about the world that we want to live in.
Get in here.
Love it. Before we begin, just wanted to say thank you so much for really taking the time to be with us. The Certified Advisors of Color program started 4.5 years ago because of a question that we had at 2164. Why aren't there more people like us in this room?
Thank you for coming and just joining this opening circle together. I am going to start us off, and we'll continue around the circle. And the purpose is to share something, an object, a reading, a memory, something physical that grounds you in your work.
So I attempted to bring what I was going to bring, and I thought it was a sign. It's a photograph that's over my monitor of Dr. King saying his I Have a Dream speech. It's like shattered, and it says, "Dreams unrealized." Growing up, we didn't have access to significant resources. What we really believed in is that despite that, we could be philanthropic, we could give back, we could support others. And then as I grew up and began to work in the nonprofit sector and supporting communities, it just continued to grow. This work is difficult. This work with families, this work advising is not easy because this is systemic. This is about years and years of hurt, injustice that just continues. We're on the shoulders of ancestors that have struggled and have gone through so much injustice and hurt and pain that we carry with us to move forward a new future for our communities, for our families, for those we care about. So that's what I use to ground me and remind me of the work and why I do it.
There's a sense of safety being part of a group where we're all coming together and being encouraged to be vulnerable and honest. There's also even validation in the work that we're doing and the experiences that we've been having.
Without a community like this, it's really a challenging space because you initially go into it with this desire to create change, but you alone won't be able to do that. So in many cases, it requires reflection.
I'm a Christian, and I felt called to. I moved to Detroit in 2016. I fell in love with the city. So for me, I really want to see things change in the city, but I don't know exactly what it looks like.
We're sort of aligned because I think what I'm
a part of the component of the retreat is also around visioning, but people of color, a lot of us haven't had the luxury to explore our own visions. Like, why are we here? What is our deeper purpose? Even that very simple question could be a very difficult one to answer. And in that journey of visioning, we're gonna do this exercise called Who's Your Audience to help you include them into the plan that we're going to build tomorrow.
All right. Yes, Orson, please.
Given the nature of the work, there is no one audience, right? Because as advisors, it'd be nice to be in control of whom we sit down in front of, but really you're presented with whoever. I don't know if I'm just being difficult, but I'm just having some...
I'm so glad you're bringing those questions out.
I was struggling with that too. My book is huge, I'm sure yours is too. It would be difficult to do that for everyone.
So somebody told me when I got into this work, he says, we work with people who want to do really good things for all the wrong reason. So I'm lost.
Can you tell that we're all really uncomfortable in this uncomfortable space?
Yeah.
Why do you think it's uncomfortable? Undine, you talked about how we are so in service of the vision that other people have. And I feel like a lot of us are introverts, and we are, I think that I use that to deflect and not have to deal with my own work.
Yeah.
To walk through our visions for our careers and the sort of impact we want to make, that work is just emotional. The way that we were able to support each other through just showing up and being present, it was a really emotional and almost at times a little bit overwhelming, but it was a great experience.
A poem curated by the writer Alexis Pauline Gumbs called Abundance Poem. We have more than enough power. We have more than enough energy. We have more than enough space. We have more than enough joy. We have more than enough stories and courage to heal our worlds. We have more than enough fire. We have more than enough peace. We have more than enough activation. We have more than enough meaning. We have more than enough sweetness. We have more than enough laughter. We have more than enough beauty. We have more than enough reverberation. We have more than enough music. We have more than enough audacity. We have more than enough breath. We have more than enough capacity. We have more than enough illumination. We have more than enough poetry. We have more than enough community. We have more than enough pathway. We have more than enough guidance. We have more. We have more than enough.
Our clients often come to us and they don't know where to start, but they have a lot of money that they know can do good in the world. And so whenever I go into an important meeting or something that's like bigger than me, I pray. And I just ask God for guidance. And I know that has never failed me, especially in the work that I'm doing now. I don't take it lightly, what I do. I guess that's why I draw on my faith to help me get through it.
Bringing in a faith component into the work helped me be more confident in telling people that I'm Muslim. It helped me really tackle my experiences around Islamophobia growing up and what that feels like, and why is it that I'm not speaking about my own religion or my own faith more openly.
One of the things that I've been working through for the last few days is how big to dream. And so I've been thinking about, am I not being bold enough, not being courageous enough when I articulate what my vision is for myself and my career? I've been thinking about this target audience for the last 4 years since I started with 2164. So my target audience are Detroit professional athletes who want to make a difference in their community in Detroit, but also probably from their hometown communities as well. But I've been thinking about how can we do that in Detroit and help the city of Detroit with that same sort of context. So that's sort of what I'm working through now. There was this moment where I was finishing out my vision statement and I was saying that I wanted to have this impact in Detroit. And I thought, maybe the goal should be Detroit and instead of just Detroit. I ended up putting in Detroit and around the country because my dreams have grown since being here. And so now I'm thinking about tools and strategies that are going to benefit Detroit, certainly, but I can also take that work and take it around the country to help other communities. It would have just been a period after Detroit if I had created that vision statement before coming here.
So when I first got here, I was focusing on all the barriers to what I can't do versus what I can do. So what I'm taking away from this experience is energy to show up as my true self at work and not to feel small in my organization that there is stuff that I can do. And so I'm excited.
Before I connected with 2164, I saw my role as just an advisor. Now I see myself as an advisor that brings my own voice into the dialogue, and I believe that the insertion of my voice would really be able to help influence in a greater capacity how the resources are invested and how closely they get to the communities who need it the most. The past few days have been about dreams being realized and the collective power in this space. And even if we added together the amount of resources we influence or have the potential to influence just within this group, there's power in numbers. There's power in people, and there's power in this collective that is feeding me to continue my work, and I hope it's feeding the rest of all of us to do the same. Just from the beginning of an idea to the ripple effect that's impacting all of us.
This time has really raised my sights for what is possible and thinking, what do I have to offer that would add anything? But through your all's encouragement over the last couple days and just, it really got me thinking. And so I've got on my plan to write a book by 2027.
We have so many talented, amazing people in this space that are advisors of color that I never would have met without 2164 and without this program. I think it's going to be so fascinating and just exciting to see what comes out from all of this.
People have been saying that this program has been healing for them, and that was not one of our main objectives. And it's been a gift to sort of witness and be a part of their experience. To now be in this journey of okay, how do we replicate that for other people of color? And how do we make sure that others have the similar experiences or understand what this feels like? That's why I'm so passionate about this work.